Hey guys, I hope you're all well. If you can hear me loud and clear, send me a thumbs up or let me know in the chat box. Hopefully everyone has had a good day. I know we've had a very productive day on the charts today. I will just start recording myself. Give me one sec.
Recording in progress.
Okay, so I hope you guys are all good. And welcome back to our weekly session where we cover a lot of things, mainly the charts, mainly gold. I'm going to do my best and answer as many questions as I can, as always. But you guys love to flood the chat box, which is all well and good. I am here to help where I can. So let's start by jumping on the charts because that is where we make our money. Um, let's move this out of the way. A trading view. Okay, for anyone who doesn't know who I am, my name is Ish. I am 35 years young, and I have been analyzing the gold market now and the gold charts for in excess of 10 years. Um, my my freedom, my financial freedom has come from trading. So hopefully a bit of what I've been able to do over the years will rub off on you guys, and you guys can hopefully start making as much money as you possibly can from the market. So let me just delete all of this and we start all over again, like we do every time. First things first, I want you guys to understand that trading view is how you mark up a chart and then you can execute your trades from looking at this screen, and then you can grab your phone and then you can enter the market, right? That for anyone who's looking to be a lot better than just taking the signals, if you want to have a better understanding on how things work, this is how I did it. I've had a ton of success from it. So it clearly works, and you guys can do the same thing, basically. Okay. So first things first, I go on Trading View. I type in here at the top XAU USD, which is gold against the US dollar. That is typically what we are trading. I go on the 4 hour time frame because I like to look at the picture in a sort of a lot more of a broader vision. I want to see as far back as possible, as well as get an overall picture on what way the market is expecting to go. And then I add an indicator in there called FVG, which stands for Fair Value Gap. And it's this one right here, Nephew Sam. That's the one I click on. And all that does is it gives me these rectangle boxes, as you can see, that are identified as FVGs, which stands for Fair Value Gap. And what that does for me is it just tells me where there's liquidity within the market. And
Recording stopped.
um, okay, so where was I? I got rudely interrupted by the connectivity. Okay, so
Recording in progress.
the 4 hour time frame basically gives me the ability to see a bigger, broader picture. The fair value gaps, the fair value gaps allow me to find out where the liquidity is in the market, so I know where it typically can go before reversing or changing direction. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to find out a few support and resistant lines in the market for me to understand the direction of the market. Okay. So first things first, I come here, I grab a horizontal line, and I typically do one right at the very top as to where the market was last. Let me just zoom out a little bit. Let me get that line dead on for you guys. No, it's too high. Okay, so as we can see here, the reason why I've drawn a line right here is because last time the market came to this price, it reacted and turned away from it. Okay. That is not by coincidence. It is an area of resistance or support within the market. Okay. So very, very important to understand that gold typically goes back to these areas. And if you do it on a 4 hour time frame, they are a lot stronger than doing it on a 1 minute time frame or a 5 minute time frame and so forth. Because when you are trading, you want to get the biggest reaction you possibly can. If you're looking to stay in trades for a lot longer to make a lot more money. Okay. So I always start on the 4 hour. I'm just going to grab another line now, another horizontal line. And I can see here that we have another area that the market has touched and then had a reversal from. I can see it right here. I can see another one right here and I can see it right here as well. Okay. So I have quite um a strong support at this price, which is what 5109. And that basically just tells me that price can quite easily go back there, touch that line, and then reverse. And we've had it a few times, both from underneath and on top. Okay. Now there is sometimes you can draw a trend line on the 4 hour time frame to get like an idea on where the market wants to go in regards to direction. But this also gives you a direction just by here. For example, we can see that it's in an upwards movement. It's moving in a the biasness of gold at the minute is that it is bullish. It means it is buying. Okay. So by looking on a 4 hour, I get a clear indication that it is a buy. Okay. Um, so I can get rid of that line now because it's no real relevance to me right now. Okay, I'm going to see if there's any other areas that the market is going to react from or has reacted from. I can see right here, we had a reaction. And we can see that we had a reaction previously. It pushed up, came back down, bounced off this line in an 8 hour window, 2 4 hour candles there, and then did the same here. Okay. So once again, this is a clear area that gold probably wants to revisit. And we're going to look into that. So all we're doing now is we're just drawing a photo, drawing a picture to understand the direction and to be able to zoom in a little bit deeper to find out where it wants to go and so forth. Okay. I see quite a lot of questions already. Okay. Okay, cool. I'm gonna answer all your questions today, guys. Trust me, I'm on a mission. But no stupid questions. I'm joking. No such thing. Okay, cool. So this is all I want to see on the 4 hour time frame. For now. I feel like it's more than enough. I'm just gonna now go down to the 15 minute, which is what I typically do, to have a look at what I can see on the 15 minutes. And we can basically go from there. So I've drawn these lines that you see now. These lines that you see now, these are on a 4 hour time frame, which means they're very, very strong. I would always take a trade on a 4 hour time frame. Okay. Now, on a 15 minute time frame, once again, they are also quite strong, but sometimes the moves are not as big. So you might catch 30 to 40 pips, whereas on a 4 hour time frame, you're going to catch 100 pips, 200 pips, and so forth. However, we are day traders. We are people that like to be in the market during the day and then out. So it's very, very important that we also go to the smaller time frames to make sure we find, that perfect entry. So let me just quickly draw this out for you guys right now so you can understand what I mean. So I can draw a line right here. I'm just going to change the color of this line so you guys can understand what I mean. I'll make it a little bit bolder. Okay, so here on a 15-minute time frame, although it's not like super duper clean, okay, it's not a million miles away. And what I mean by that is this. Here, we've had a bunch of reactions from this line, and then it reacted. Again here, numerous touches here, look, and bounced off the line, bounced off the line. Again, I missed this one right here, it bounced off here. It bounced off from this wick here. It bounced off a few candles here. And again here. Broke this, but before it broke that part, if I zoom in a little bit, you can see that it came down, it bounced off it first before coming back down and breaking it, okay? Then when it did break it, it came down, it touched it on 3 candles and then moved up, okay? So that line right there that I've got here is also a support. And we're going to keep that line there because all we are doing is we're marking it out to get a better idea on the direction of this particular currency pair. So gold against the US dollar. So we just go here. All right. So we just get rid of these circles because you guys get the picture. And I want to try and draw this out as clean as possible so that you can also use the same thing. Wow, a lot of questions. All right, so I'm going to try and get through your questions, guys, but just give me 1 minute because first I want to see if we've got any setups because I'm sure you guys would love to make money with me today. I know I like to make money with me. So let me just see here. Okay, here we have another area of a zone. So we've got a bunch of reaction here off this line. We have another one here. Okay, we have a bunch of them right here clustered. I can see here we've got a bunch of touches and reversals. When it broke it last time, it came back down, it touched it, then pushed back up. Bunch of areas here where it reversed. Same again here. And we've had 2 pretty much on this line here as well. And now we've got it coming to the line again. Okay, so, and there's what? 18 seconds left of the 15-minute time frame, which means it's decision making. It's coming to the end of the candle. So we can start making, get an idea on what way this is going to go. Okay, so let me just get rid of these amazing artwork by myself. I'm a bit of an artist. Okay, cool. So let me just check that. Okay, cool. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to see if there's any other areas on the 15-minute that it has reacted from before going to a smaller time frame to make up my mind on what we are doing next. Okay, so we have another area here. Look, a bunch of touches, bounced off, bunch of touches, bounced off, never quite reached it, worked its way down. Now it's pushing back up to equal highs. This is a zone area. This is a fake out here where it came right down and pushed back up. And now we are here. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to the 15-minute, the 5-minute time frame. And I'm going to see what is good. Okay, so on a 5-minute time frame, we have this line pretty much on the nose. Yeah, that's all correct. That's all a bunch of touches. So we're here now. I would wait for this 3 minute and 33 seconds left on this candle just to see what it does. I really want to wait to see how it reacts on this particular line for me to get an indication as to what it's going to do next. And then we can dictate what it's going to do. In the meantime, let me go through some of your questions. How do you know if a trade is a buy or a sell when it bounces off the line? So basically, what we are looking for is if it reacts from the line and the body of the candle on the 5-minute or 15-minute is below this line, then that means that it's going to typically be a sell, and it will sell down, and the line can be your stop loss, or just above it can be your stop loss, like here. Okay. If it breaks through this line, it's had a change of character. Okay. Because for every other single time when it's reached this line, it's reacted on a downwards motion, right? So if it doesn't this time, then the likelihood is very, very high, like 90%, that it's most likely going to buy up to the next zone, which we have already marked out. Okay. So that's how that works. If, for you to understand whether it's a buy or a sell. So that's all we're waiting for right now to give us that indication, and we'll go from there. Right, next one. Do you leave your FVG settings as default? Yes, I do. Hey, I had a few losing trades today, and now I'm finding myself hesitating to jump in trades. Can you give me any advice to get back on track? The reality with that is that you're just purely being emotional. Not to sound harsh or anything, but this is the markets. You're going to lose, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. Okay. The reality is this: do not let a losing trade dictate your next trade, because you're now going to throw the entire algorithm that you have in life off. Okay. When you start changing the way you do things, you'll end up getting a different result. Now, if you stay the course and enter every single trade as you're supposed to, then the likelihood is that you will sooner or later come on top. Why? Because we are winning way more trades than we are losing. Okay. Today we've had a great day once again. Yesterday we had a great day. So you need to always stick to entering every single trade. Okay. And using correct risk management, obviously, so you don't blow your account. Losing more than our profit. Should I give up? No, don't give up. Don't give up. At the end of the day, guys, if you give up, then it's like anything in life. You're not going to really be, you're not going to be successful at anything, right? So if you give up, then, what's the point? What's the point of anything if you give up, right? If I gave up, guys, like if anyone that doesn't know, I was facing 6 years in prison in London for sheer negligence on my company. My business partner done me over, literally emptied out the business bank account. I had no choice but to do something that was going to make me a lot of money to pay all my clients back. I made £1 million from £20,000 trading when I knew absolutely nothing, and I learned as I went along. Hence why now I'm very, very good at what I do, because I had no choice. But there was many, many times where I wanted to give up, but then I remembered that I'd rather sleep in my bed than the prison bed. Okay. So if you guys want to work out, decisions based on, whether you guys want to be successful or not, like the biggest tip, I know it's easy to say, but just don't give up. Giving up is not really the key. Okay. Hey, Ish, I was making profit in the signals group. Now I'm scalping group, I'm losing. Should I go back to the signals group? Account and stay keep on. I mean, look, guys, the scalping group it's in the word. The word scalping means in and out. It means we are expecting a reaction, okay? And you're supposed to enter that trade off the reaction. And once you see any type of profit, it's like you're out. You jump in and you jump out, and that's it. So it's entirely up to you. Me personally, I would keep going on the scalping group. I found it really, really beneficial. But it's down to you as an individual, right? So if you do it correctly, you should win, basically. Okay, so I struggle to get all my entries in the zone. Typically, I am 5 pips out. Today I got all my ducks in a row. Was on layering was spot on, and I got SL. It was another day. Yeah, so we win some, we lose some. But if you enter each one with like a $2 gap, then you should be you should be okay. And you should try and aim for target one and be out. Remember, with scalping, you're like the money that you're making in a few minutes is more than you'll make anywhere else, unless you're selling drugs. And even then, doesn't always happen, right? You got to have the customers. Hey Ish, I was on a really good winning streak, 3K profit in 10 days, but I've been losing since I almost spent my account. It's because I was holding trades in Scout because it seemed to work before. Okay. Where's it gone? Do you only draw zones on the 4 hour and 15 minute and use 5 minutes for entry? Yes, correct. I do. I'm really struggling to understand and implement the signals given, i.e. moving stop loss. Okay, so look, the best advice I can give you guys is to get quite handy and fluent with MetaTrader 5. There's like a million YouTube videos that you can watch. It's like a new app, right? So for a lot of you guys, it's brand new. But you know, for anyone who's really old here, I'm sure you guys remember Snake on your phone. And when we first started, you could barely, get the snake around the screen without letting the snake touch its body. But then as time goes on, you get a lot better, right? Because your fingers get more familiar with hitting the buttons that are supposed to be hit at the right time so that you don't catch yourself out. Trading or MetaTrader 5 is pretty similar. So when you enter a trade, you hold your finger on it, you click modify, you put the stop loss in. It's about being a bit more woke on all your trades. You need to be like alert, okay? It does work, okay? It does work. You just need to be a bit more, get a bit more fluent with it. That's what I'd suggest. Mate, I remember Snake really well. That means I'm really old. Yes, so am I. I'm just trying to get through some of your questions, guys. Okay, so let me show you guys how the scalping group really works. Okay, here's the scalping group. Yeah, look at it's like this. Let's say I'm going to use these areas here as an example. Okay, so you're in the scalping group, right? And look, I've marked out this zone. This is exactly how the scalping group works. Okay, and right here it said buy now. Right? Right here, it said buy now. Let me go to the 1 minute to be a crackhead and show you guys exactly how this works. Where's it gone? No, we go back. Uno momento. 1 second, guys. All right, you know what? I can show you these examples here. These also work. Okay, so look. This purple line here and this purple line here is a zone. Okay. The way the scalping group works like this. The market is coming down. Okay. It's coming down like this. All right. And then the trader goes, cool, it's hit my zone. Buy now. So you've now bought. Okay. And it's traveled further down. Let me zoom in. So it's traveled further down, right? On this particular, like we entered here, like it's just touched this line. The trader said, buy now. You've all gone buy, right? So you've all entered, okay? And then it's pushed down, and some of you have entered again, okay? Because it's at 62 now, that's 20 pips. So let's say, for example, you entered again right here. Then it's had a massive push up. Look, boom, bang, right? That was the reaction the trader was looking for. Okay, that is the reaction that we're expecting from the scalping group. Okay, you need to be out as soon as both of these entries are somewhat in profit. Okay, and bear in mind if we entered at 64, 67 would have been target 1. Okay, which is right here. Right? Okay. Out, close, target 1, done. Right? Now, did the trader get it wrong? No. Okay, all he's done is he was expecting a reaction. He got the reaction. It then came back down. Okay, back down past the entry. The next candle came back up halfway. Okay, from the entry and then wicked all the way down again. Then wicked down. Then pushed up. So then pushed down. To then push up, pass back into profit again. So then for it to come down again. Right? Can you see how it reacted so many times off this line? until it was like, all right, cool, I'm going for it. Okay. Now, when the trader is calling out the trade, okay, he is not looking at the 1 minute time frame, which is what it looks like here, which is like a crack addict, like moving like a million miles per hour. Look, let me go back to 5 minutes. Let me just make this evident so I know what I'm looking at. Let's go back to 5 minutes. Okay, look at the 5 minutes, guys. Clean. Came down, got the opportunity to re-enter a few times, and then it pushed up. Okay. So that is the reaction that the trader is looking for. Okay. Now, if you guys are looking at it in a 1 minute and you're seeing it's going up and down, like we just saw on the 1 minute, yeah, it's going to panic you and it's going to confuse you guys. Now, me personally, as soon as I see profit, okay, I close. Shall I tell you why? Because the zone is going to give you guys a reaction, and all you want is a reaction to grab money. Where are you grabbing money in 30 to 50 seconds? You're not, right? So really fathom that for 1 second. Don't think, oh, I need to make $1,000 from this. It's a scalp. We're sending like 20 zones a day. Okay. More than enough money. Okay. And on the odd occasion, you will get a reaction, right? Like this. Let me zoom out. You'll get a reaction more like this here. Show you guys. Where it's literally touch and then bam, push up. Okay. But other times it's gonna play a little bit, right? It's gonna play a few times. So don't be so alarmed when it's playing. All right, because the zones group works. It's zone to zone. It makes complete sense. Like it really does. You know, gold loves to move in a zone. Look, imagine, right? We're marking up this chart now. First thing I've done is I've marked out a zone. You know, this is a zone right here. Look. From here to here is a zone. You know, now it might play a little bit, but that's why we got to wait. Patience is really important. So all we're looking at in the scalping group, that little extra bit, and look, yeah, sometimes, mind my language, but it kind of messes us up. It's a nicer way of saying things when he does this craziness, right? But this is just it. That's just pure market manipulation, and there's nothing you can do as long as you got your stop loss in place. Then you're out. Then you wait for the next time it does it. When it comes back up here, the trader will send out another zone and say sell zone. Then you get into on this one. You're getting on this one, right? Then when it comes back to it, he might send you another sell zone here, and then you get in on that one as well. Then when it comes back to this line, he might send out another zone and say buy zone. Then you get in on that one. So don't worry about these. Just let them hit your stop loss. It's okay, right? The whole point is, look, if we were winning every single trade, right? And I mean every single trade, then like think about it. Like, a lot of you guys will sell your houses, wouldn't you? We're winning. I told you we got 100% success rate. Some people will do more than just sell their houses. They'll sell everything they've got. They'll put it all in their trading account, okay, and they'd move forward, right? But we're not doing that because there's risk, okay? It's a scalp group. There is risk, guys. It's very, very normal. So I want you guys to understand that this is something that can easily be controlled as long as you've got a stop loss in play, and that's it. But look, we've marked out a zone now. Okay, now we're just going to wait for it to come maybe a little bit closer. Okay, and then we'll make our mind up whether we're going to enter or not. If it breaks it, then hey, we're going to jump in on a buy. And then we've got a nice little buy area. Or if it reacts from it, then we might enter a sell and go, right, cool, this is where I really want it to go. But just so you guys know, 51.64 to 51.90 is like 260 pips. It's a lot of bloody money in that gap right there. You know, so just bear that in mind, all right? And me personally, I love the scalping group. I think it's fantastic. A lot of people make a lot of money, but a lot of people are not sticking to the golden rules, okay? There is rules in this game, okay? And you have to stick to the rules. There has to be a stop loss in place. You have to stick to the same lot size that you're always doing. You can't go in bigger one time and less another time, you're now changing the entire direction, of what you're trying to do. So bear that in mind. Hopefully that's been a bit of information. How the FEVGs come into play. So basically, look, right now, we've got two fair value gaps here. This means that there's a probability that this could come down, take the money from here, and then push back up, right? So I don't know. You have to wait and see how it plays out. But that's typically, how it goes. But the fair value gaps will always, like, it always reacts from there. Look, for example, on this 5 minute time frame, it's come down, it's touched it here, and it's like pushed all the way back up. It's all wick now, right? And it can do that as many times as it wants until the fair value gap disappears. This is Turkish tea, by the way, today, guys. I didn't jump on the Moroccan tea. Turkish tea is also good. All right, let me get back to your questions. I had $30 and made it into $800 in a span of 1.5 months with only using 0.01 and switch to 0.02. Do you think I should now go to 0.03? $800? Yeah, you can do. Get it to 1,000 and then go to 0.03 if you want. Once again, you're playing it super duper safe. But I just go to show you can turn $30 into $800 over a period of time. And if you up your lot size correctly, as you're growing your account, then the likelihood is that you're going to be very, very successful and you will never have to redeposit into your account because you'll only be making more money. Someone's put Earl Grey tea. I used to like Earl Grey, but now I'm on Turkish tea vibes, like black tea, it's like red tea, like red. But it keeps me up because obviously here it's 11:30 and I've got to go through all of this stuff with you guys because you're all addicts. And I'm joking. It's lots of love. Hi, Sean. I say thank you. Going over the same thing again. Been listening for 4 months. Really again to it. You're very welcome. I've been doing this for 4 months. Thanks for reminding me. When I ask for a pay rise soon. Where's James when you need him? All right, cool. So, what last I saw a 10K account, 0.5. Why not? Maybe a little bit less. How much should I look at the news, like US tariffs and my trades? The US, like anything news related on the US dollar really affects gold. So like know the times. Like I go on something called Forex Factory and it tells me all the red folder high impact news on US dollar that day. And then it kind of like gives me an idea on like where if I should stay out of the market or in the market. Okay, this is getting closer to our line. It's leaving more fair value gaps here. I've got to wait for the 15 and the 5 minute or the 5 minute to close. Let's see how it reacts here. Yeah, we'll go from there because this is on the Z line. Look, it's crazy how that works. It came right here. Oh, let me get rid of that. It came right up to the line and has a slight little rejection. Okay, but we want to see like exactly how it finishes. The body of the candle is what's important here, guys. Okay, the body, not the little wick. Okay, the body. All right, let me. Yes. Okay, going back through some of your questions. What's the difference between candles and wicks? Good question. Basically, if you look at, let me zoom in so you guys can really see this, okay? Let's look at this red candle here. So this 5 minute candle, okay, opened where the top part of this body is here. It pushed up to here, and then it came down to this bottom part of the wick and then closed back up here. Then it opened again right here. Okay, it pushed up and then it came down and then it closed right here. And then it opened on this green one, okay? The green one pushed down first because there's the wick below it. And then it pushed all the way up and it closed right here on the 5 minute. And then the next one is now open there. So the wick is where it traveled in the time that it was open. And the body is basically where it opened and closed. The body will tell you a lot, okay? The body, the body and the wick, they're both somewhat important. It just depends on how you're trading. But for example, like I take into consideration the body and the wick typically, just so you know. All right. So look, I've got wick here and I've almost got body at the top on this one here. So it just I look it's made a zone for me. So I look at both of them typically. Okay, but this is just where it's traveled. So it shows me that it doesn't like it's broken this level before. So if it wants to be like a piece of shit, it can be. But sometimes when you see body to body, you're like, all right, cool. Like it really doesn't want to, go past that zone. So it's quite a heavy thing. So um so yeah, so I'll just read someone's question. I won't out them because they're using a 1 minute time frame. Crackhead vibes, okay? Crackhead vibes. Stop using 1 minute. It doesn't work, guys. So, okay, we can make lots of money. Just give me some time, all right? When I can be bothered to sit on a Zoom call with everyone. Look at this, look how it's reacting. Oh, what a bitch. Okay, so look, now we have 1 minute left on this candle. So I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do in a minute. I need to see how this finishes. We could could is the key word here. We could enter this, like for example, right? Don't enter now, but I'm just saying, for example, if we entered here, like where it is now, let's say that's where it finished, and I was like, okay, cool, this is looks like it's reversing, then this would be our stop loss. See how tight it is. Look, 85 to 90, 50 pips, doable. Like not gonna kill anyone, not gonna break the bank. It's not gonna blow your accounts as such. So super duper important that you guys understand lot sizes. And it's okay. Guys, I don't know if you lot were on James's call yesterday, but look, when James was when I was helping James back in the day, right, 6 years ago or so, right? He had 500 quid in his account, was using like 0.03 and a 0.05, was trying to get on them proper good trades. And you got to remember also, guys, like if you wanted to work out how much you would lose on a trade, just think of the lot size that you want to use. So let's say, for example, you got a £500 account and you're like, oh, I'm going to use 0.10, 0.10, which is like £1 a pip. And you check and the stop loss is $6 away from where your entry is. You just do six. Sorry, you just do 60 because $6 is 60 pips. Okay, times one, and you're like, cool, it's £60. If your risk appetite is okay to take a £60 loss, then just take it, right? It's down to you. You are the boss. For me, quite often by the time trader has put in the zone, I'll press buy or sell and it's already entered in the wrong place. Have I missed the zone? Listen, it's happened to me before. Sometimes it's Wi-Fi, sometimes it's connection, sometimes the market is moving absolutely mental, right? Normal. So, and look, guys, you got to remember, we're dealing with a market now when things are very, very different to how they used to be. Market's moving insane. Look, before when I used to go on a 5 minute time frame, do you think I was looking at 51.64 to 51.90? A 280 pip move or 260 pip move. Never. When I used to look on it 5 minutes before, I used to see no more than 30 to 60 pips. So it's mad. Now I'm looking at 5 minutes. I'm like, oh my God, I'm seeing this much of a movement. I used to see this type of movement on a 1 hour time frame. Now I'm seeing it on a 5 minute, which means it's way more volatile. It's moving way more than it's ever moved before. You got to remember, you guys are coming to trading in 2026, which is like mind-boggling because the markets never used to move like this, you know, never used to move like this. So FYI. All right, so look, on the 15-minute time frame, there's 3 minutes left. This has wicked from this area again, like it did on numerous occasions. Okay. I'd like to think that this is going to sell, right? Just going by past experience. However, past experience always tells me that like if it's bounced a bunch of times from this area, might have had enough and he wants to move back up. However, that being said, we have got a fair value gap here and we have another fair value gap here, which is liquidity in the market. Now, there's a high possibility that he wants to come and take that, before moving back up or whatnot. Because remember, what is the biasness of the market right now? The biasness is that it is buying, right? It's bullish. So we don't want to be those people that are getting into sales when the market is blatantly going up, right? But there is lots of opportunity for the market to be going down. So, and we want to try and capitalize on that and make as much money as possible. So as long as we put safe zones in, okay, on like where we'd put a stop loss and so forth, then I think we should be absolutely fine and nothing should be too scary, okay? So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and like mark out an area from here, there from the wick, this top part here, which is, let me just draw a line on there. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so it's 93. So I'd like to see that this is going to be our sell zone. Which I'll just write it here for you guys. Sell zone. Okay, so this is how it typically gets done, right? So anywhere from here, it should like be a sell zone. Okay. Now, it really just depends on how this finishes on the 15-minute time frame. It's not giving me mad confidence for a reversal. I expected like more of a push down. But at the same time, it's wicked off it twice. It might wick off it again, and then we can enter. Like you want to get the best possible price and go from there. But if we did enter here at 85, then I wouldn't expect it to go much higher than 91, which is still giving us a decent amount of pips for a stop loss. So it's not going to blow or hurt anyone, okay? And you guys can always go with a small lot size on these because there's two fair value gaps here. I feel like it could quite easily come down and touch them before moving back up. And if it does, then hey, it's still 100 pips and money is money. So we can make some moolah on this call. Let's see how this reacts. So where's the 15-minute? How did it finish? It finished green. Cool. If we got in at 90, that'd be lovely. When it reacted, that'd be like a result. So these are our options. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, so we could be potentially seeing this reaction here. And we go to 5 minute. That would be, so there's a fair value gap here on my left. So I might want to be funny and knock me out. So if I put that there, made that red, let me see if this is worth it for us. 1 sec, guys. Very important that I give you guys the best I possibly can. So if we ended at 90 and the stop loss sells at 99, that is a 9 90 pip stop loss. That is too bloody big. So I would not enter that. But what I would do is I'll do it at 96 because there's an easy, the bottom of the fair value gap, which also works. Let me get rid of this line here. Bring this down. Right, we're in the zone, which is nice. So typically, we could look for a sell anywhere in this space, okay? And then I would have like a 30 pip TP1. So it'll be like 87, which is here. Look, sometimes we don't even have to take a trade live, but do you know what we can do? We can mark one out so you guys can see how I do it. And then you guys can be like, all right, cool, I can do this whenever I want. And that's the reality of this, okay? Let's see if it plays out. 87, and we could do 84. See, once again, look, when it's at highs like that, it's like, cool. It's broke this entire structure that we had, okay? But, which typically means for me a buy. However, if the candlestick has not closed, then I'd like it's anyone's game right now, right? So, and once again, if I was to enter here at the top at 93 and my stop loss was at 96, it's 30 pips. It's not going to hurt no one, right? So let's do this. Let's wait and see how this candle finishes. We've only got 1 minute left. Let me go back to your questions in the meantime. Do you just have one account? Where did that go? So I just missed most of this as my girlfriend called. Where can I see the recording? Oh, she girlfriend, mate. No joking. I am recording this. What makes Vantage better than Just Markets? Guys, just Google it. It's very evident. I don't work for the broker. So as well. About that channel no. So all I'm gonna do now, guys, is I'm just gonna wait to see how this plays out. There's only 16 seconds left, and then I'll get an idea. Sometimes we can get a reaction from here, catch 30 pips down. All right. If you guys want, you can enter a sell now. Okay. So just do a sell right now, which is at this entry right here, 93. Well, no, yeah, 93, 94. I caught it out there, so it's sold there. And then you can put your stop loss literally at 96. If you want to give it some breathing space, you can put it at 97. Okay. So hopefully you guys are in the sell. And then what we want now is we want to see like a nice downwards motion to at least 50% of this massive candle. So there's a little gam box that I've got. I'm going to just use this quickly to see where it does. Where is it? Where's me gam box? Oh, too many buttons. There we go, gam box. All right, so it's down at 91. So you guys are 30 pips in profit, which is nice. So sometimes I like to just see the 50% area, which is, where is that? At 90, basically. Cool. So I already got a line there anyway. Yeah. All right. So typically, let's say a signal was to come out and you guys are in this sell and you're 20, 30 pips in profit and it's moving like this, you can move your stop loss by holding modify, and you can basically bring it to your entry, okay? For example, otherwise, you leave it where it is. This stop loss, for example, is 30 bloody pips. It's no big deal, right? It's nothing. 30 to 40 pips. So if you put £1 on this trade, you'd lose £40 if it goes wrong way. However, right now, you guys are all in profit. If you're in profit, can someone just write profit in the chat? Just so that I know you're in profit. It'd be really nice to know. Cool. Well, that is nice to know. Profit, 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 profit. Or what? 90. Look, okay, so look, it's here, the 50% mark, like I said. Now it's having a reaction. Okay. So you guys are like 40 pips in profit or 35 to 40. It's had a slight reaction. Now we're gonna see if it breaks it. Okay, then it could be a what I like to call a salam alaikum, and then it just like goes for it. Or it could just react off it and then bounce slightly back up. But now you guys are in profit. You know what you do when you're in profit? You make an educated decision. You say, okay, you know what? This money is good. It's money for nothing. It's a money while I'm on a call with Ish. No big deal. I'm going to take this money and I'm going to call it a day. Okay. That's option number one. Option number two, you guys are like, cool. I want to move my stop loss to break even. I'm now risk free. Whatever this trade does, it's either going to give me money or it's gonna hit my stop loss, which is at break even, which means I lose no money. Right now, this trade is running at 50 pips in profit for all of you guys. So you're 50 pips up. Okay, it's free money. It's entirely up to you if you want to hold this trade or you can take it out. Where do I believe it's going? Very simple. Let me show you guys. Okay, if I move this along, there's a fair value gap here. It will touch a fair value gap and it will react. Sometimes it will push past the fair value gap and they want to take these two fair value gaps down here as well. Okay, which means you can take that money if you want, or you can hold it and have a trailing stop loss. But it's a nice strong area from a sell. Okay, for a sell. So like I'd like to think that this is going to go like a little bit more than that, but 50 pips is 50 pips, guys. Like bear that in mind. If I went on the 1 minute time frame, which is for crackheads, which we don't do, this would look like a massive red candle right now. Okay. But in the meantime, I'm gonna let you guys make your educated decision. This didn't even go into drawdown. You guys are like you didn't even see red on your screen. Okay. I'm just saying. Don't want to brag or anything. All right, cool. So look, this has come down to 88 now, so that's like 60 pips. You can hold, you can close, you can do whatever you want. Like there's a saying in trading, it says, if in blue, it's on you. So if your screen is blue right now because of profit, it's on you. You decide what to do. Okay, you decide. What do I believe? I believe that it's going to touch a fair value gap and then have a little reaction. I believe there's two fair value gaps down here. It could give me a lot more. It could give me, look, I haven't even put TP ones and twos and so forth, just because, you know, there's no point with these type of trades. We had such a tight stop loss, you know, there's no real point in doing that. Look, it's touched this fair value gap here and it's had a reaction of some sort. If the reaction is strong enough, it will push all the way back up and go through the roof, or it will come a little bit and then it will turn around. Okay. If I look on the crackhead version, which is on the 1 minute, I can see that this line here at 90, we want it to not pass 90. Okay. So if I just do it like this and show you guys 1 sec, this line right here. So it's left two fair value gaps here at the top, which means it can quite easily come up and touch them before coming down. Me personally, guys, you made money for nothing. Take the money. Just close it. Close it, take the money, and you can all send me a fiver. Only joking. But yeah, it's entirely up to you guys. If it comes back up, could you add another layer? No. This is a reactive area, right? So it reacted from here. Like that is what we was expecting to see. Look at our sell zone, right? Look, on the 15 minute, that was our sell zone. So anywhere here where we was looking to get in, and we got in at the very top because we zoomed in at on the 5 minute, and we caught it really, really well. Okay. Hats off to all of you guys. Well done. I'm so glad that every single one of you made money on this call. It does give me joy. I will send my PayPal or my Cash App. Only joking. But yeah, so look, all we've done is we've made a zone, right? Now imagine the trader would have sent out this zone and they would have said, sell zone now. Okay. Now let's look at it together. Okay. So because I want you guys to understand how you can react to when you get a zone in. Okay. So imagine the trader would have been like, cool, sell zone, bam, right here at 90, right? And then 20 pips later, at 92, I'd expect you guys to get in again. Bam. And then at 94, you would have been expected to get in again, and then that would have been your stop loss right here. Okay, so look, from here at 90 to 96, that would have been 60 pip stop loss. Sounds about right in our scalping group. Look, it's down at 89 again, which is nice. But as you can see, you would have entered here, you would have entered here, you would have entered here. It would have been like, oh my God, everything's red. It's all going to shit. Okay, but you wait, okay? Because then it does this massive reversal and now it's out of the sell zone. As soon as it's out of the sell zone, you'll click close and you'll take all your profits. Why? Because this trade that you entered is in profit. This trade that you entered is in profit. Okay. And this trade, it doesn't even matter if this part is in profit or not, because these two are in profit. So it's overcome this number anyway, right? And is all you care about is that middle number at the top on your MetaTrader 5 account if that is blue. Because you're scalping. You're coming in the market, you're grabbing some money, you're adding it to your balance, and you're ready for the next trade. You do that continuously throughout the whole day, guys, you're in the money. Like, there's so much money there. Like, just take it, okay? But stop being, what's the word? I need to be very careful how I say it to record it, okay? But don't be scared, okay? Just don't. You have to be the same person you are before a trade as well as during a trade. Okay. I know a lot of you guys before you're like, cool, I'm ready. I'm going to enter. I'm going to do a big lot size, blah, 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 whatever it may be. And then all of a sudden you enter the trade and you become like a hot mess, right? I don't want you guys to become a hot mess. This is reacting really, really well. I should have entered this on myself. I would have made a couple of grand, wouldn't I? Right? But hey ho, so it's a-okay. Let me get back to the questions because it is midnight here. Brother, send me a cash out. I'm only joking. I don't really have one. Okay, I'm not an OnlyFans person. And any of these trader can really help me understand where it ends. I feel like finally click now. Thank you for that. You're very, very welcome. Guys, I want it to click. If this clicks, guys, you guys are going to be good for a long time. When the candle closes above the line, I thought this was when I buy it. How do you know it was reversing? Okay, so it's not. So we made a zone, okay, and it's very, very important that we respect the zone. This zone on the 15-minute was this outline right here, and it's respected it because the candle didn't close above. It was just a wick. That's how we know that it was probably going to sell. Hopefully, all of you guys are out. If you guys are all out of this trade, I want you guys to tell me in the chat how much you made. I don't care if it's 10p or a pound. I have to watch this again. No problem. I'm gonna add this to a YouTube channel soon, guys, and then you guys can watch it there once I'm finished with it. But yeah, please tell me you guys all made some money. Okay. Raw, some of you guys made some money. Oh, hey, easy. Wow. Wow, I'm really happy. All right, so you all made money. Money, 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 money. Raw, some of you really back me, don't you? That's really nice. It's really nice to know. Oh, some of you lot made some of you made enough to buy a Snickers bar, and some of you made enough to buy a whole room full of Snickers bars. That is what I can see there. Good for you guys. Good for you guys, honestly. Proud of you. Um, but yeah, money's money at the end of the day, guys. So well done. Cool. So look, now, right? Let's say you're at home, you're alone, you're like, cool, there's no signals coming out. Like, I want to get in on the market, right? You've drawn up your charts. You just caught this sell, okay? The new 15-minute time frame has started. We're 13 minutes into it. You're like, all right, cool. Let me jump on the 5-minute now. Let me see what I can expect, okay? Now, all we're looking for now, if I just get rid of this like that, you want to see, all right. So, a lot of you guys that you ask me, like, oh, can I get in again? Right now, 99.9% of the time, the answer is no, you can't, because that was the move. Okay, that was the move. You took your money, right? And now it's going to do something else, right? So now we've got to wait to see how it reacts and what it does. Okay, so if this finishes above the previous high, then we know that it's staircasing in an upwards motion. It now doesn't care about any of this, right? Any of the reactions before, and it's most likely going to buy to the next area, which is, funnily enough, where our stop loss was 51.96.9. Call it 51.97. Okay. And then you can ride it all the way up, for example. And then guess what's going to happen there? There's going to be another reaction. Why? Because there's been a bunch of reactions here. Look, here. Okay. And these reactions are not big, but it's a 15-minute candle. You guys can make some money on that. That's a scalp right there. Soon we'll be coming to you, and asking you guys for the zones, right? Because if we've had a bunch of reactions in, you can catch it. And sometimes, you know what you'll get? It will touch the zone and then it will just say, see you later. And it'll come all the way down. And you're in that trade and you've made a ton of money just from that trade. Okay. So there is a lot of options here on how you can do this, but zone to zone trading on gold really, really works well. And hopefully this explains how that group works. Okay. So just be more patient. Don't enter all the trades in one spot. That's not clever, right? You've got to be clever, be smart, guys. We're in a market where the market is doing $8 trillion every single day. You are absolutely nothing in the market, right? Your job is to come in, okay, grab some money and get out. Okay. It's not about holding a trade and turning your £1 lot size into £1 million. That's not how this works. Okay. You want to keep taking the money, and as you're gradually taking the money, then you'll hit that million and so forth, right? It'll go on and on for you guys. And I'm really, really excited for all of that to happen. On that note, ladies and gents, it is 4 minutes past the hour of 12. Okay. I have a bed. I'm gonna enter my bed. So I'm gonna love you and leave you all. Watch these candlesticks, okay? It's my advice to you. Just look how they finish. Every time it touches an area, there is a reaction. Okay, get in on the reaction. If it passes on your reaction and the candle hasn't finished, okay, the time on the candle, then enter again after $2. Enter again after $2. Then watch the reaction happen. And then as they all go back into blue, close the trade. Okay, you've just made some more money. You can do that all day long. Okay. Now, the next time that you guys are going to see me is going to be Tuesday next week. Yeah, we've had an hour. I don't want to bore you guys. Remember, I understand how the brain works, and the brain will stop absorbing information quite quickly, usually after 20 minutes. So we're like 40 minutes over what the brain is willing to actually digest. But yeah, on that note, it is gone midnight here in Dubai, and I'm excited to call it a night. But I'm so glad that you all made money. Expect the same thing on Tuesday from me. And in the scalping group that you guys are all in at the minute, do it properly, okay? Do it properly and you will make money, okay? Then the stats that we are sending out on the chat, okay, are real stats. We're not lying. Everything's printed, right? So we're not going to sit there and lie about it in front of 11,000 people, okay? That'd be very silly of us. So make sure that you give it a $2 gap, okay, and layer, and then go from there. For anyone that has a really, really small account, like, it's very difficult, but it is possible, okay? And when I say really small account, I'm talking about the people that have got less than £100 in their account. If you make £3, make 3%. What a housing market in the UK gives you after a year. You're making it in like 10 minutes on your phone, just a smaller amount. Okay, so just let that sink in for a second. On that note, I love you all. God bless you. And I shall see you guys on Tuesday. Enjoy tomorrow's trading session. Peace out.